If you've ever studied a language, you know there's just this massive difference between the rigid, perfect sentences you find in a textbook and the vibrant, living language that people actually speak out on the streets. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to unpack just a single, highly functional word. Honestly, it's a word that can instantly make you sound more natural, more conversational, and just way more plugged into Brazilian culture. So, let me ask you a question. What do you think is the absolute handiest word in Brazil? Like, if you were to drop right into the middle of a bustling street in Rio, or maybe a casual get-together in Sao Paulo, what's your ultimate secret weapon for an informal chat? You might be thinking of a common greeting, right? Or maybe just a simple yes or no. But the true answer is actually way more versatile than that. It's this incredible word that literally shape-shifts depending entirely on what you need it to do in that exact moment. Any guesses? All right, let's look at the magic of Valeu, our linguistic Swiss Army knife. Okay, let's dive right into this. The word is Valeu. It's an incredibly popular, informal Brazilian Portuguese slang term. And it's used casually to show appreciation, to agree with something, or even to end a conversation. Think of it as the ultimate linguistic Swiss Army knife. Just like that tool in your pocket has a blade, a screwdriver, and a bottle opener for literally every possible situation, Valeu handles your everyday conversational needs. It's a true multi-tool. But the absolute most important thing to grasp here is that its exact meaning transforms entirely based on the context of the chat. The situation you're in basically dictates which tool you're pulling out. Moving on to its first use, expressing quick thanks well beyond formal gratitude. We're moving way beyond formal gratitude here. We're talking about those rapid-fire, everyday interactions where a deep, formal thank you might just feel a little too heavy or kind of stiff. If you know even a little bit of Portuguese, you know obrigado is the standard, polite, formal way to express gratitude. But when you shift to Valeu, you completely change the entire vibe of the interaction. You're moving from a rigid exchange into this casual, snappy, friendly interaction. Honestly, it's the difference between a formal bow and a quick high five. Imagine you're studying with a friend, right? And they've just helped you crack a really difficult problem. You might say, Obrigado pela ajuda com minha lição de casa. Valeu. See what happened there? You start with that standard appreciation, I appreciate the help with my homework. But then, boom, you hit them with the valeu, which translates perfectly in this casual context to nice one or thanks, man. It's that quick, upbeat little punctuation mark at the end of the thought that basically says, hey, I see what you did for me and I really appreciate it. Next up, confirming and agreeing, or locking in the plans. Let's shift gears entirely here and pull out a completely different tool. In this specific setting, the word completely sheds its meaning of gratitude. Actually, scratch that. It has absolutely nothing to do with saying thank you anymore. Instead, it becomes this simple, highly effective tool for enthusiastic agreement. Valeu simply becomes, yeah, sure. It's an affirmation. It's the green light. It's exactly how you tell someone, yes, absolutely, we are on the same page. Let's see how this actually builds in a real-world scenario. Imagine you're texting a friend, or maybe you're wrapping up a quick phone call. Your friend asks, Então, a gente vai se encontrar no café mais tarde? Which means, so, are we meeting at the cafe later? And your response? Sim, valeu. Meaning, yeah, sure. You can feel the upbeat, interrogative tone in the question, and then that immediate, casual confirmation in the answer. By using valeu right here, you aren't thanking them for the cafe. You're just bringing that casual street-level conversation to life by saying, yes, it's a plan, we're locked in. And the final piece, the casual goodbye, signing off with style. Now for the final use case. We've done thanks, we've done agreement, and now we're talking about wrapping up a chat entirely. And what's really fascinating here is how the exact same sequence of letters is now acting as a definitive but incredibly friendly sign-off. Valeu simply becomes bye. You aren't saying nice one, and you certainly aren't saying, yeah, sure. You're telling the person that the conversation is concluded, but you're doing it in a way that is just so warm, familiar, and completely effortless. Let's hear exactly how this sounds in practice. Picture a shopkeeper as you're walking out of their store, or maybe a colleague as you're leaving the office for the day. They say, Me avisa se precisar de mais alguma coisa. Valeu. Which translates to, let me know if you need anything else. Bye. Notice the cadence there? It's a winding down kind of cadence. The energy of the interaction is naturally settling. Valeu perfectly mirrors the act of ending the conversation. It's just a soft, friendly closing of the door. So, let's lock in the three faces of Valeu. Number 1, thanks. When someone helps you out, it basically means nice one. Number 2, agreement.
When you're making plans, it means, yeah, sure. And number 3, goodbye. When you're walking away or hanging up the phone, it means bye. That's 3 totally distinct conversational needs seamlessly handled by one incredibly efficient slang word.
And I really want to remind you why this matters so much. Grasping textbook vocabulary is great, it really is, but Valeu is one of those slang words that you will hear constantly, literally everywhere you go in Brazil. It is super handy for informal conversations. Mastering this specific slang word is the true key to unlocking natural, everyday chats. It shows native speakers that you don't just know the words, but you understand the rhythm and the flow of their culture. You aren't just reciting a textbook, you're genuinely communicating. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a little thought to chew on. How does context change the slang you use in your own everyday life? We just saw how one single word in Brazilian Portuguese can mean 3 totally different things based purely on the situation. So think about your own native language. What are the versatile, informal words you use every single day without even thinking about them? Language is wonderfully flexible, and paying attention to these little Swiss Army knife words can completely change how you connect with the world around you. Keep exploring, keep listening to the context, and I'll catch you next time.